Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel Velasquez-Escobar. The two companies I will be focusing on this course first discussion post is Sony Group Corporation and Comcast Corporation. I will be comparing the annual reports for these two companies in 2024. One of the first differences off the bat is when these two companies have their fiscal year. Sony has theirs from April 1st, 2023, March 31st, 2024. Comcast has theirs from January 1st to December 31st, 2024. So we can tell that they're two different start dates. The starting of the two different dates can create major differences. Another difference is that Sony reports in yen under the IFRS and files a form of 20-F with the US SEC, while Comcast reports under US GAAP with a form 10-K filled with the US SEC. In 2024, revenue for Sony was 13.02 trillion yen, and for Comcast, it was $123.73 billion. Here, Sony sees a 19% increase versus year 2022, and Comcast had a 1.8 increase versus year 2023. For net income, Sony was around the range of $6.7 billion to $7 billion, while for Comcast, it was $16.19 billion. This is a slight decrease versus year 2023 for Sony and an increase for Comcast of around 5.2% versus 2023. Sony's profitability reflected lower operating margins despite higher sales. Sony's operating income was down 7%, while Comcast's operating income was consistent with 2023 levels. For business diversity, Sony is very diverse, such as games, music, tech, and finance. Comcast is involved in media, cable and internet, and entertainment. So here we can see that their main focuses vary. Overall, Comcast outpaced Sony in absolute profit and revenue growth in calendar year 2024. Sony's earnings reflect broad diversification, including cyclical hardware and financial services, while Comcast earnings draw strength from steady subscription and content monetization. Financially, Sony's net income declined slightly despite higher revenue, whereas Comcast earnings improved modestly. Sony generates strong operating cash flows, but also invests heavily in technology, content, and acquisitions. Sony maintains a large balance and diversified assets across technology and entertainment and financial services. Comcast produces cash from operations with substantial capital deployed into infrastructure and media content. Comcast's balance sheet reflects substantial leverage typical for large telecom media conglomerates. Overall, we can see both of these are strong in the industry. Thank you for your time. Most of my resources came from ChatGPT comparing the annual reports,